最近我们队伍的状态的话，我不满意，就很一般吧，因为我们失误比较多嘛。我们现在目标的话就是朝着第一在前进的。
저희가 1등 하려면 IG를 이겨야 하기 때문에 모든 선수가 잘해서 지금
我的天哪！另外一边是场被切到中间，这里剑姬直接车就要砍了，
全杀了。现在这个剑姬只能用4个字来形容，
怎么说？
恐怖如斯。
至少我每 carry 我们有个站出来，也没必要针对我，针对每条没用的。
司马的话跟 JK Love 他们两个人的对决的话，我还是比较支持我们的 AT 吧，因为我觉得他一直表现都比较好。
玉米也被收割3盗贼，艾卡西亚的暴雨不停地拍在脸上，拿到 double kill， 继续输出3杀。
就算他们拿出4保1的战术，我们下路稳住，我们中上也还是能把他们爆。
我们要战胜这个 IG 的话，先自己不要失误，然后就尽量加入对面的失误吧。
正区小组第一一定要赢 IG 嘛，虽然是很难，但是我们也不会放弃。
小组第一你们想想就好了，如果你们有本事，你们自己来拿。
It is finally upon us. Our match of the week, potentially the best match of the entire split, as first place versus second place is about to clash here on the LPL stage. Rogue Warriors in second place, the team of misfits, abandoned from other teams, finding their own momentum and making massive waves in the LPL, are about to clash and contend with Invictus Gaming, the best team in the league, who just a few days ago claimed the record for the most consecutive game wins in LPL history. Welcome, everyone. I am so excited to be here. My name is Dominic Dom Romer. Joining me here on this wonderful analyst test for this hype as heck day is Clement Chu and Zach Rusty Pie. Gentlemen, how are you? Clement?
I'm feeling super hype, and you just heard IG say right there, keep your dreams of #1 in your dreams. It's not going to actually happen. Ooh.
Yeah, we're going to have to find out. I'm super excited to be here as well, and mostly for this first set, but don't forget, we've even got EDG versus WE later on. Today is just stacked.
Yeah, it is a hype day. We've got a lot coming at you, so first, let's make sure we sign all our health waivers and get everything out of the way, because those faint of heart might want to tune off of this broadcast, because we have got some good stuff coming at you. Here are the standings. You can see #1 and #2, IG versus Rogue Warriors.
Of course, Jingdong did get to play yesterday. They went down. That's the place we have to look at in the standings. The closest position still remains as 4th place in the East, and of course, the West still has some contentions for there to be seen.
On the West, we did have FPX losing to BLG yesterday as well, so it does look like everyone's playing for playoff seeding and not necessarily playoff spots.
Again, 4 spots left, 6 teams to fight over them, but the seeding, as you mentioned, Clement, is going to be determined today with Invictus Gaming. If they manage to win this game here against Rogue Warriors, they guarantee their semifinal berth.
And this is not just the #1 and #2 seed in the East. This is the #1 and #2 team of the entire LPL. Hype as heck matchup. Definitely the best 2 teams we have currently.
And with this, we are expecting some fantastic stuff from the likes of these 2 teams. Because again, this is potentially a preview of the playoffs, as we are expecting these 2 teams to go into opposite brackets, potentially a preview of the finals.
Of course, but remember, whilst we're looking at today's matches, that we're not going to be broadcasting the 3rd set, LGD versus RNGs in Hangzhou. We're going to be showing EDG versus WE, because they are on at the exact same time.
That being said, though, it's now time for us to get into that actual matchup, because Invictus Gaming versus Rogue Warriors, there is so much to discuss, because it is so very hype. I'm going to open the floor, gentlemen. The whole world is your oyster. What would you like to discuss on this?
Well, first we have to talk about why the teams are so good, especially Invictus Gaming. They're the #1 team in the LPL currently, and their motto is win lane, win game. They win super fast, they're super explosive from that 10 to 15-minute mark, and all three of their lanes are stellar players. You cannot find a better players than any of these. Rookie, the Shy in the top lane, and also Jackie Love in the bot lane. You put that into a package, and that's explosive and also entertaining.
Yeah, suits the LPL meta very well, of course, but to contrast with their opponents, Rogue Warriors, they're still a very aggressive, early team themselves, but in a very different way. Often you'll see that they want to put a lot of their focus towards SMLZ, who has started to have a fantastic split more and more as the weeks go on. They want to go down there, make it happen early, unlock him, and just win the entire game as quickly as possible after that. It's not that there's a lot of similarities between them, but they still both win very quickly as a result of their early game strengths.
Of course, we have to look at the catalysts that spark these engines of destruction for these two teams, the big kickers for these fuel. And for Invictus Gaming, I think we have to turn our attention to the jungle. Ning has been on fire for this team.
Yeah, he's definitely the best jungler to play around winning lanes that we have in the LPL. He's very good at suffocating the enemy jungler, preventing them from interfering with his winning lanes. That's basically his motto. The key word you have to know about him is pressure. He really does like the picks like Zac and Sejuani to keep people tied down and to have that open space for those lane ganks. Here you can see him on the Olaf, and he had a massive game against RNG where he was able to chop up Karsa.
Yeah, certainly did. Recently, of course, he's moved towards the Olaf and a bunch of other champions, but with this pick, we saw that not only is he about pressure, but he's able to use that pressure to carry the games himself now. And IG have shown that it's not just Ning going to Rookie's lane or going to Jackie Love's lane, going to the Shy's lane and making it happen, but now they can all come to him. And so that's one extra threat in the team that didn't have enough already. They are so dangerous to play around.
5 threats on this team.
Yeah, definitely. On the other hand, though, we do have to look at Rogue Warriors and Flawless so far in their jungler's position. He plays a very different style, and he wants to find the other jungler and try to kill him. We've seen this a lot being played against Ning. Other teams will try to go with Kha'Zix and try to go with Nidalee and try to target out Ning. Not let him link up with his winning lanes and try to make it a solo game, 1v1, and try to beat him that way.
And that mid-jungle duo is such an important catalyst as well, because again, this is the best mid laner in the LPL, taking on Doinby, a starlet in his own right.
And that's the thing, when you talk about the solo kills of Flawless, you talk about the fact that teams may try to ban him out, pick him out, exploit him in any way, you have to come back to the mid laners, because that is how it can be influenced the most. If he's got the most solo kills, that's great. He may even be close to the most solo deaths, but it's always going to be saved by Doinby, because he loves to play things like the Karma, go and help his jungler, and make the difference. Try and make the skirmisher 2v2, or even just get there sooner, which is what he does very well.
The key thing of this graphic is the champion pool from both sides. We are talking about the two mid laners that have the most champions. I want to see Doinby on a better matchup. Last time, Rookie was able to dominate him because he had the Cassiopeia, he had the Syndra. He was willing to go for off-meta picks to punish Doinby's passive laning style. Now, Doinby has a champion pool of his own. He should hold on to his picks and try to counter-pick Rookie.
Yeah, 13 and 11 respective picks, right? The way I see it is don't play your Karma. Don't let them pick the Syndra into you. Actually be the Cassiopeia that we've seen from him recently and be able to contribute to dealing damage in your lane as well as the map.
And again, it's all about this early game for these two teams. Invictus Gaming, we've already mentioned their play style. They love to focus on their strong laning phases. Then Ning, who thrives by picking whichever lane he so chooses, anywhere that he goes, sometimes even carrying himself and sort of snowballing out of that, but getting into that early game, getting into that sort of aggressive champion picks from Invictus Gaming. How can Rogue Warriors deal with this? Because historically, it's been a bit of a weakness for them.
Yeah, it's a really interesting matchup because both of these teams do favor the red side. And what the red side unlocks for IG is it allows them to get the strongest solo lanes possible because they can have 2 counter picks in the top and in the mid at the same time. Now, it's really important to note that in this series, IG will have side selection on Game 1 and Game 3. So that's already a big advantage going over towards IG. However, we do assume that Rogue Warriors will try to snag away those counter picks and try to get something good for Doinby, just like we said.
Yeah, certainly. I think the priority towards the red side, I agree with Clement's going to be very important. There's always going to be the concept of, do they want to get to team fighting Rogue Warriors where they're strong and that IG are weak, as we have apparently been told from IG. We're yet to really see them get to the team fighting stage because of how well they win in the early games anyway. So ultimately, that could be what Rogue Warriors try to do, maybe get to the red side at least in Game 2, or have priority picks in their solo lanes in Games 1 and 3, and then just try and scale up.
And of course, that being said, though, this is what we heard from IG. And while we may not have seen super late game team fighting from them, we know that perhaps it could be maybe a little bit of misleading from them because we haven't exactly seen those super late game team fights because they don't need them.
Yeah, that's really interesting to note. Rogue Warriors does have that hyper late games try to carry style, but no team in the LPL has been able to move past Invictus Gaming's mid game. So I think it's really important that they actually hold on to their early game aggression with Flawless and try to make pressure there, not just sit back and wait.
But that said, as you can see on your screen, it is a packed house. Again, this is a huge matchup here in the LPL with Invictus Gaming, one of the legacy organizations in the LPL, making a resurgence and for the first time in a very long time, looking like they might actually be the best in the league. They might be the team that we see go to the finals or even MSI and beyond.
Certainly looking that way, looking for 16 set victories in a row. And coming into this game, there should be no subs, there should be no changes. It should be the full strength for both of these respective teams. Everything is on the line, even though the standings don't really move from this set, because the finals preview, it's important to get the right foot forwards.
You're exactly right, as facing across from them is Rogue Warriors. Of course, getting into the lineups, IG first. You said they're bringing out the A game. That's exactly what we see. The Shy, Ning, Rookie, Jackie Love, and Baolan.
That's right, with Duke still on the bench, still just waiting behind him. He's never going to get a chance to play if the Shy continues with his current form. Pretty much unstoppable, the best top laner that we have right now.
Their opponents, though, Rogue Warriors, Mouse, Flawless, Doinby, SMLZ, and Killua.
Definitely a bit weaker laners, but they are no pushovers. Last time Mouse played the Shy, he actually solo killed him in lane, and SMLZ currently is still the best AD carry in terms of CSD at 15, even over Jackie Love.
A bold statement indeed, and would you look at those stats? You know, we keep saying first versus second. Well, how about we get some numbers to support it?
Yeah, first versus second in every possible metric that you've got on your screen right now. Their win times, they're very fast teams. That's something you have to be excited about watching this set as well. That's where my eyes gravitate towards. Of course, goal per minute by being winning teams is naturally going to be quite high, but a 31-minute average game time is incredibly quick.
It certainly is. That said, now that we've seen the numbers, I'm going to ask you gentlemen for your predictions, but first, before we get that, we're going to set the stage a little bit. We've had some old original LPL casters take a look at this matchup and share their thoughts on who they think is going to take this series.
Hey guys, Pyra here, and I'm super excited to talk about this LPL match between Invictus Gaming and Rogue Warriors. These two teams at the top of the Eastern region, and this could very well be a preview of the playoffs. Between you and me, I think the AD carry matchup is going to be the sickest one. Jackie Love, this guy comes in out of nowhere, big Draven main, and he just starts dominating people. On the other side, you've got SMLZ, very experienced. The team likes to play around him. They know exactly what they need to do to get him ahead. But personally, I think this one is going to go the way of Invictus, 2-1, because they're just a little better around those lanes.
Hey LPL fans, how are you? This Saturday, it's a big game. 8 p.m. Australian time, 6 p.m. Shanghai time. It's going to be Rogue Warriors taking on IG. And you know, I haven't been around the LPL for a while. And I've heard that people like Rusty and FLICKR, they've been lying to you. They've been hyping up this Rogue Warriors lineup. They've been telling you they can go the whole way. I mean, they've only dropped 3 maps. They've got veterans like Mouse, SMLZ, Doinby in the mid lane. Mismatched lineups that haven't really found much success elsewhere, but now are proving to be a genuine superstar team. But unfortunately, they're about to run into Invictus Gaming, a team that has only dropped 1 best of 3, with veteran superstars like Rookie, as well as new guns like Jackie Love and the Shy. This is a team that is unstoppable, and this Saturday, I guarantee that they're going to take apart Doing Bad's team and really look to rock the LPL.
Ooh, Rusty, you've been lying to me?
Have I though? Have I really been lying if they're still the second best team in the damn region? I feel like I've just been doing their dues.
You certainly have been trying your best though. That said, gentlemen, predictions. Clement, who have you got? IG, Rogue Warriors?
Well, you have actually already shown it on screen, so I have to go with IG currently, and I will say that I do expect this to be a bit closer than a lot of people believe. IG had a rocky set against TOP, so I do see this going 2-1.
And Rusty?
Whilst they have been giving a lot of hype to Rogue Warriors, and I do think they're a fantastic team, I have full belief that IG are just going to come here and steamroll their opponents in Rogue Warriors. I don't think it's going to be the full body bag RNG methods. I don't think it's going to be that bad, but both early game based teams, if it's going to be a victory, and I think IG are better, just a 2-0.
Well, we're going to have to find out. Our casters are ready to get us into game 1. As we go though, Jackie Love is going to share his thoughts on the matchup.
RW 这支战队的话，他们是主保下路为主，然后中上选推线的那种团战英雄，然后保住围绕下路来打下路。如果能打出优势的话，他们就可以根据下路来带起节奏。如果他们下路打不出优势的话，我觉得他们就整体的话会很难玩。司马贼这么选手的话，我觉得他对线和团战上都没有太大瑕疵，但是我觉得的话，就我们俩打的话，最多也就5-5开吧。
Everyone, I'm Fish. Joining me is Raz. We're about to get straight into Champion Select for Game number 1. Invictus Gaming taking on Rogue Warriors. We just got to hear from Jackie Love right there. Not only is it Pyrotechnics that thinks it's going to be a bottom lane focused battle here, but Jackie Love thinks the exact same. A lot of respect towards SMLZ, but he still thinks that they have the upper hand when it comes to team fight.
Yeah, he believes it. Apparently the desk believes it. Around the world, analysts coming together believe in it. No one believes in Rogue Warriors. Sure, they lost. They dropped that set versus Suning Gaming. But they have to be playing up going up against Invictus Gaming.
And again, we have to go through the similarities of these two teams. Early game teams, they have the highest kills per minute in the LPL as well. Subtle differences. IG like to play around the lanes, whereas Rogue Warriors like to play around their carry of SMLZ. Let's run through the first few picks that have come through here. Karma, Sion, as well as Kha'Zix are the 3 bands that come out from Invictus Gaming. Camille, Swain, and Zaya being taken away by Rogue Warriors. Leaves Olaf open, picked up by Ning. Rogue Warriors will lock in not only Varus, but Rise as well.
Yeah, the Rise is going to be important because Sion and Karma getting banned out. That's Invictus Gaming making a call out to doing these champion pool. Much different. He's been playing towards, I would say, against the meta, the anti-meta. Cassiopeia is in his pool. He goes towards either Catalyst users or he goes towards the straight tanks. So it's nice that Duanbia decided that he's going to just go straight towards the Rise, just because if he goes in towards second phase, then he no longer has access to his picks.
And not opting to go towards something like the Lulu, which we've seen him bring out. Feels like Rookie will be able to punish him if he's able to pull out a niche champion like Lulu in the mid lane, whereas Kog'Maw as well as Braum are locked in here for Jackie Love and Baolan.
And this is the first time in quite some time, I'd say, that teams are challenging Invictus Game in the early game. Varus getting picked up. Sure, you can counteract the Rise with the Cassiopeia, but the Varus getting picked up now going up against the Kog'Maw in the lane means that Rogue Warriors can play around bottom lane quite early, quite aggressively. I want to see how they do this, how they utilize it.
Well, Jarvan was a champion that was very popular to start this split of the LPL, died off throughout cross-conference. Now that we're back into regular conference play, it seems to be a very popular jungle pick. That'll be picked up by Flawless to go up against the Olaf from Ning.
You can already see the style of Rogue Warriors get straight on top of the Kog'Maw. They have Varus' CC, Rise's ultimate, and of course Jarvan, who can just jump straight on top of Kog'Maw when they see it fit, or even just go on towards the Olaf, who doesn't have a dash for himself. He'll have to use Flash if he's ever in a poor situation. So Rogue Warriors are looking for proper team fighting, and once they hit level 6, want to be able to get to the bomb side of the map.
I want to see if they're ever able to get Invictus Gaming into a 5-on-5 fight, because IG like to split apart the map. They like to split push and use the previous lane domination from the early game to transverse into that mid game.
Yeah.
Hopefully take over teams that way.
What's interesting here is the fact that they're waiting on their top lane pick to the very end as well, because if they're trying to buff up their laning phase, get towards the late game team fights, the biggest worry has always been top lane, the Shy just gets a massive lead. This time around, Mouse is waiting at the very least to see what the Shy picks for himself, so he can either pick a tank top laner that's not that bad in the matchup, or maybe he gets a carry pick for himself. In the past, Mouse has gone towards Gangplank.
Maybe he just takes the Rise, because Rogue Warriors, they've locked in Lulu. Could be a support pick for Kahlua, but can be flexed with Doinby in the mid lane. And they have the last pick to go up against Invictus Gaming. They banned out not only Orianna, but Cassiopeia as well, heavily targeting Rookie's pool. For the start of Invictus Gaming, they decided to take away supports. Tahm Kench and Alistar were banned out against Kahlua. They're going to lock in on.
That's a really good call out. The fact that it could just be a Rise top lane has great gank pressure. Might even see the Jarvan go topside early on, depending on the matchup. Rise generally has great matchups for himself, so this is going to confuse Invictus Gaming on blue side what their mid laner is going to be.
And IG's mid laner is going to be Azir in the mid lane. The Shy will be picking up on the top lane. Now, final pick for Rogue Warriors. We know that they have a couple of flex picks to play with. Let's see where they go.
And right here, Rogue Warriors have a lot of gank pressure. Top lane, the Rise is easy to gank for. Of course, J4 even goes for level 2 ganks. So Rogue Warriors, even though they have a strong team fighting composition, can make ganks happen quickly in the early game. Invictus Gaming have to be prepared for that.
They certainly do. We're going to be looking towards that 2v2 between the mid laners and junglers. Final pick for Rogue Warriors was Cho'Gath to match the match the pushing potential that Ornn has in the top lane. So it is going to be a Lulu support with Varus in the bottom lane.
We've been seeing more mage supports recently. Mostly from Ming, from RNG, has been pulling out the Lulus, been pulling out the Karma. This time around, we're seeing it from Killua, and it's nice to see it just because you know you're going up against the Braum, which has been seen as one of the stronger skirmishing tanks. best way to deal with that, best way to deal with the Braum, best way to deal with the Tom Kench is with a mage support to buff you up your laning phase.
And does that help out Doinby in the mid lane? Because he's previously been the job of Protect SMLC. He's the one that's picked up Lulu. He's the one that picks up Karma. If now that task goes to Killua and he's able to play champions like Ryze, maybe he doesn't have to build full tank anymore. Does that unlock him to go into that 2v2 match against the mid lane and jungle from Invictus Gaming?
100%. Because one thing that people forget, especially in this split, is that Doinby can carry. We've seen a lot of support picks here, but when he was on Chao Gu, or at least just any other team in the past, he's gone towards a carry style. Jingdong specifically, he was just playing Vladimir and having ridiculous statistics, just being the sole carry of the team. So he can play a different style, and it seems like this time around, Rogue Warriors are looking to flex it.
We know that he's built tank on Ryze before, so we'll have to keep track of Doinby's items as we move into game number 1. He's up against Rookie, one of the best mid laners the LPL has ever produced. He's had a fantastic split so far. He's looking to continue that dominance.
You know, funny enough, I don't want to see the tank build, but usually if you find yourself in an early game lead, you can go for it. And you have the Lulu as well that can buff up the damage from SMLC.
Well, let's see what they do, but we're going to get onto the Rift. Game number 1, the rematch between Invictus Gaming and Rogue Warriors. Last time round, it was IG that picked up the series win. Since then, or since their first match, actually, they've been undefeated in the LPL. Rogue Warriors, they've had a rocky few sets recently, including dropping to Suning 2-0. A win here on Invictus Gaming, although would not put them closer to picking up the number 1 spot, gives them at least a chance. And at least a chance moving into playoffs to show the world what they're made of. Let's get on to the Rift. Game number 1, IG taking on Rogue Warriors. Look, I tell you what, Raz, our entire desk, we had Spawn, Pyro, everyone says, you know what, it's Invictus Gaming. The crowd says it's Rogue Warriors today, though.
God damn, I actually, the ground shook the moment that guy started yelling. Almost lost my balance.
Don't fall, Raz. We still need to cast the rest of the series. For what we know, these two teams, they like to play very fast, very bloody, so we could have a very action-packed game between the two. But again, we have to remember that they, although have been buffed up quite significantly by 8.4 and 8.5, fitting the playstyle of these two teams, when it comes towards the late game, they play vastly different. IG like to split apart the map. They like to play in their lanes. Rogue Warriors will want to group up and start protecting SMLZ.
Yeah, and I would say historically one of the major weaknesses from Invictus Gaming, we don't get to see a lot of it because the games don't go that long for Invictus Gaming, has been their team fighting. It's gotten better, but one team that can try and impact it, can get the first punch, can be Rogue Warriors.
Especially when they're a team that has the fastest game time at the moment, but they're a team that we look towards going into those late game fights. Ning didn't get a leash starting off this match either. He started off at blue buff, now moving on towards Gromp. Flawless is going to be able to take down his Raptors here.
Olaf is one of the few junglers that can just go for a solo start. The benefit of course, is that your lanes can just start within the laning phase. Worst thing that can come of it is that if Jackie Love and Baolan leash in the bottom side of the map, or if the Shy leashes in the top side of the map, comes back to his lane, not only does it give information of where Olaf started, but it also makes it so the lanes themselves start in a bad position. Invictus Gaming have taken advantage of the fact that their laners have gotten off to the right start. They don't have to come to lane late.
Seems like Rogue Warriors is able to do the same thing in the bottom lane, because SMLZ and Killua are currently pushing against the bottom lane of Jackie Love and Baolan. Flawless went from his red buff, picked up Raptors, now goes to blue and is going to clear the rest of his camps. Olaf on the bottom side of the jungle as well at the moment. We also see double unsealed spellbook coming out from the Invictus Gaming bottom lane. We used to see it a lot on AD carries, but haven't seen it so much on AD carries recently.
It's usually a protective summoner for yourself, of course, once it got nerfed, just so you can keep the teleport and come back into the lane so you don't lose too much in the laning phase. You don't lose too much hurt in the laning phase. Is Jackie Love and Baolan recognizing this is an incredibly bad matchup for them? Double counter from both Lulu and Varus for themselves, so they're going to get poked out repeatedly, and Rogue Warriors are going to look towards the bottom side of the map. They need teleport to come back in and not lose that tower immediately.
And they'll have that from Unsealed Spellbook. They also picked up 2 minion dematerializers to try and stop the wave from pushing aggressively against their turret. But we'll keep track of that lane later on in the match. In the mid lane, it's going to be Ryze against Azir. Even going towards bone plating here, trying to mitigate some damage coming out from Invictus Gaming.
Yeah, that's the thing about Resolve Tree ever since the patch in which bone plating was put into place. It's just so hard to find yourself getting the poke down in lane. So Azir is not going to have the outright strength of being able to fully do Embiid, because not only was he going to be able to get the Abyssal Mask for himself, He just has the resolve tree to keep himself topped up in lane, to walk up to Azir and to out-trade him.
Typical Doinby, be as tanky as he possibly can, even when he's on carries in the mid lane. He was trying to rotate up towards top side of the map, because at the moment, the Shy is pushing in quite aggressively against Mouse, but at the bottom lane, where's the action? Killer has been locked out, already used his flash. Ning is here as well. One more axe will be enough. Throws it, picks up first blood for IG.
Really well done from Invictus Gaming. They do this time and time again, lane ganks. Just proper synergy between Ning and Baolan. Baolan starts it off with the Q, and of course, just follow it up with the auto attacks. JackeyLove even used this flash to make it worthwhile, so really difficult from Killua and SMLZ.
And the map's been really split here, Raz. We already saw Rogue Warriors were the ones that were pushing aggressively in the bottom lane. IG were doing the same top side of the map, whereas mid lane has been fairly stable at the moment. IG choose to gank the lane that was not doing well, and they're able to pick up first blood of that bottom lane, make sure that JackeyLove and Balon have a much easier time down there.
That's the beauty of Ning's pathing a lot of the times, is that even when he finds himself, or at least the lanes have losing priority, he finds himself getting ganks that he shouldn't be able to get, because it's Invictus Gaming's wards that allow them to push past a certain point where he can go for lane ganks. We don't see as many lane ganks throughout the entirety of the league, but specifically from Ning, he'll utilize lane ganks in top lane bush or in bottom lane bush.
Now, you're speaking about ward coverage. Rogue Warriors have most of their wards focused towards top side map, protecting Mouse, who has had a difficult laning phase so far. Now just working towards Flawless and Killua, clearing out the wards that were placed around the Dragon Pit. Cloud Dragon's the first to spawn, although yes, now buffed to give in-combat movement speed. Still not one of the dragons that you commonly see teams fight over.
Yeah, just comes down to priority. What's your checklist? What are you looking towards in terms of like what's going to break open the map for Invictus Gaming, because of the fact that they have a proper jungle matchup that can get much faster clear than Flawless. He doesn't necessarily need to use that time to get the Cloud Dragon. In fact, he's probably just going to use it, A, to get the gank that he got on the bottom side of the map, or just to track Jarvan so he doesn't have the impact that he should earlier on.
Not so much tracking, but he did get that gank in the bottom lane, which is where we heard from JackeyLove thinks is going to be the focus. A lot of respect thrown towards SMLZ. He has had a great split so far, especially being supported by Killua as well as Doinby from the mid lane. Whereas JackeyLove, he's exactly as what he was hyped up to be, a very young, mechanically strong player.
Yeah, JackeyLove, when he came into the league, he had a lot of names to tick off on a list. Of course, everyone's looking towards JackeyLove versus Uzi. He already went past that matchup, really strong from him. And he has the confidence to go up against SMLZ. This has probably been the best split for SMLZ, so it's going to be a tough task ahead of him. Rogue
Warriors now looking to try and collapse in the bottom lane. Ning has not spotted out this duo coming down, but he's sitting on top of a control ward. Rise Ultimate's going to come in. Ning's going to try and counter out this gank. 4 on 3. Make it 5 as everyone's trying to teleport down. Rogue Warriors get the first kill, picking off JackeyLove. That procs the teleport to be cancelled, but Ornn's going to come down for IG. IG looking to try and turn this one around. Doinby and SMLZ flash away. There goes Ning, gets to the backlines, gets 1 kill. Can they get more? The Shy gets turned into a critter, denying the damage onto Killua. Flawless will flash away. Still locked inside the Cataclysm, but Rookie's going to try and sweep behind.
He's looking for it.
Wants to see if he can get underneath this turret, but no one else from IG is here anymore. They're low in health.
He's just trapping them for the wave to come in. This is going to take a long time, a long setup, but there's no one here to save Rogue Warriors.
They're slowly being pushed. There he goes, jumps in. SMLZ gets good damage onto Rookie. Rookie low on mana, still going forward, chasing him out of that bush. SMLZ gets there. One more attack would be enough. Forces Rookie to flash as well. And now they're charging on top of that. The Shy wants to jump in. Ballard's right behind him. SMLZ still so low. Goes for the kill. Picks it up against the Shy. Rookie's coming back. Sand Soldier into the back line. Will pick a return for IG. Big battle in the bottom lane.
And I would love to hear the communication between both teams, because SMLZ and Killua just moved straight towards Rookie. They recognized what he was trying to do. Wait for the wave to crash in. They knew there was no support from the rest of Rogue Warriors. They had to do it themselves, and they pushed right past them.
We already know that Invictus Gaming were focusing on the bottom lane. They got the first gank down there, picking up first blood for Ning, returning Olaf into the bottom lane. But Rogue Warriors rotate everyone they could down there.
They must have been so surprised, Rogue Warriors, because this is a good setup from Ning, by the way. It just was unfortunate that the Braum Shield didn't do enough to keep Kog'Maw alive. At this point in time, you're like, Invictus Gaming, do you have the damage? I'm mainly looking at Azir, by the way. He was just trying to get the first clear rather than rotating early on, so I had no faith that the damage was going to come through, because it was essentially 3 tanks, unless if you're counting the Kamikaze Olaf. They go through, they wait long enough, survive for the Azir to come through, and this is the waiting game. Look towards your clock, essentially, just because you want to see how long it takes for the wave to get pushed by the bottom lane, the support, the Braum, and the Ornn in the top lane. It takes way too long. Rookie has to defend himself.
They just contain them, but SMLZ does the right play. The rest of the team steps up, pushes him back out. He does die later on for this, because Rookie will come back around with the help of the Honey Fruit, but stops this from happening while Rookie is there. IG can't collapse with the Emperor of Shurima right behind them.
And the worst thing about this too is that the TP from Rise is coming through. They were just waiting for a flank opportunity, so Invictus Gaming just had to back away. Good from Rookie to just come back, double back. He knows that there's no vision there, so he can sneak in for a kill.
Jump straight back in. And as we were talking about earlier, fastest game time between the two teams. Highest kills per minute in the LPL, sitting at about half a kill per minute, Raz. They're living up to it so far.
Yeah, both of these teams, when they sniff an advantage, when they find an opportunity to look for a fight, they will double down on the fight.
They found one in the bottom lane. Now I really want to see, do both these teams go back towards bottom side of the map? Because we're past the early laning phase. Mouse and the Shy are just going to free farm against each other. Two tanks on the top side of the map. You'd expect the same between the wave clear and the mid lane. Is everything going to be thrown in that bottom lane now?
Yes, but that's why Invictus Gaming, they should technically be on the offensive, but it's going to be hard for them to do that because Mouse is going to get teleport very soon. And if they wait long enough, Doinb is going to have that for himself. Double TP is the greatest way to just stop and engage or stop any bit of pressure from happening, and it technically just stalls out the game.
Flawless has some ideas about mid lane, however. Rookie sitting quite close to his turret. Difficult to dive him at the moment.
Very hard to dive him. Even though he's used his Q, the worst thing about Rookie is that at the last 10 games, last 10 maps he's had, he's gone cleanse only 6 times.
And he's done it again in this match.
Yeah, he's really defensive recently with how he plays out the lane. It allows Ning to focus away from the laning phase from mid lane. He goes towards side lanes just because Rookie is so safe here.
Whereas Doinb, he does go for Unseal Spellbook, is playing Rise, so has access to multiple summoner spells. We'll have to see what he swaps out to later on. We know that now he has the teleport to try and help out with those bottom lane ganks. And Flawless actually parked in the bottom lane as well. We could see more action down there. Wave has crashed underneath the turret. Rise did go missing, was spotted out by a zombie ward.
Mouse has teleport here. The Shy does not. The Shy has to track Cho'Gath, but he's completely walking away from him.
Rookie's going to try and slide behind the turret. Only knocks back SMLZ. Will he fall? He does. Baolan gets that kill, but trades for Rookie's life. Mouse teleporting down. Doesn't get the rupture. Flash away from Jackie Love. Keeps him safe. Ornn's nowhere to be seen, rotated into the mid lane. Doinb was trying to get down into the bottom lane as well during this time.
Yeah, this flash was definitely necessary. The Shy was rotating towards the mid lane. If the fight went long enough, he would have been available for the bottom lane play. But Rogue Warriors had the advantage of the Cho'Gath being there first with his teleport.
The gank from Rookie was successful in the sense they picked off SMLZ, but it costed him his life. And here it was, that flank coming out. He was spotted out by a ward, and Rogue Warriors waited around for him. Flawless was not in vision during this time.
Yeah, strong vision control on the side. He just wanted to see if this play would work, if they can get anything more. Flawless was not going to be the second target. If it was a 2-for-1, then sure, it would have been worthwhile. It would have been Invictus Gaming completely backing out, but they only got one for their troubles.
That's pretty much been this entire match. Even trades between Invictus Gaming and Rogue Warriors. The gold is fairly even. It's about 600 in favor of Invictus Gaming to start off. And most of that's probably going to be in the top lane, where the Shy has about 20 CS up over Mouse.
We usually don't get to see this side of Invictus Gaming getting to the 12-minute mark and having it be completely evened out. It's great from Rogue Warriors to just nullify the plays that Invictus Gaming has been going for. Clement did say on the desk 10 to 15 minutes is when we see beauty out of Invictus Gaming. I want to see what they can do from this point forward. Look at Rookie just clearing out the way from him towards the bottom side of the map.
Making sure that those wards are not existent for Rogue Warriors. Both junglers have done a good job as well as making sure that they are not spotted by vision when they go for these ganks. Flawless was able to do so in the last one. Ning was able to do so in the first one. And there it is again, IG controlling the river. They're pinging out towards the car dragon as well, could potentially take that objective away from Rogue Warriors.
And this is what's going to hurt. Rogue Warriors should probably look for a fight or just get some vision on this, just because at this point in time, Flawless has been down in the bottom side of the map for so long, fishing for a counter gank, fishing for a real gank, that he's been losing so much experience on the top side. Hasn't taken Krugs at all, so he's falling behind in experience, in CS. That's going to continue to happen if Olaf is setting the pace of the play. So it's going to be annoying for Flawless. He's going to have to path towards the top side to at least take his red buff. He needs to get some vision down bottom side so his laners are safe so he can get some experience.
Didn't look like much there, but IG will be a good back for Jackie Love. But on top of that, they pick up a car dragon for themselves. Next dragon to spawn is going to be an Infernal. Both 80 carries have also picked up their first item. Reminder, we are on patch 8.5. So this is the old Gwinsu's Rageblade, which we commonly see picked up by Varus and Kog'Maw.
Yeah, very strong spike for both of these. I want to see what they can do around the bottom side of the map. now with, say, Varus reaching the point. I'm sure he's level 8. But Rogue Warriors, if they ever find themselves in an even fight position, should be much stronger around SMLZ with the Lulu to back them up. Of course, Duanbi has that pick potential. There's a lot of raw, I'd say, skirmishing potential out of Rogue Warriors.
Because we know that a lot of the focus has been on the bottom lane for this match, but now Rift Herald's up. That's going to be the only real objective to take besides out of turrets for the next 6 minutes. And then at about 19 minutes into the game, we're going to have Infernal Dragon spawn, which will be a big point for these two teams to fight around the bottom side of the map. Potentially until then, these two teams could play it a little bit quiet and wait for that objective to come back up.
They could, but you know Rogue Warriors, especially at this point in time, where Abyssal Mask is finished by Duanbi, he's looking for the pick. If they can get this tower, it means so much for them. See if they can do it.
Well, they brute force. They send 4 members down to the bottom lane. SMLC will get some chip damage on the bottom lane outer turret. Ning is already down here. Balan doesn't take too much damage from Doinby either. They're able to simply push Rogue Warriors off the turret.
And I mentioned about how strong Invictus Gaming's lane bush wards have been. Rogue Warriors have invested 2 control wards on the bottom side of the map, so they do not get teleport flanked on. They're investing so much on the bottom side just through the raw gold of these control wards and in the pick ban from getting Lulu, that they are all ending on the fact that this lane doing well for them.
Which is good timing, because the Shy's teleport's up and available, whereas Mouse's is still coming off of cooldown. If they made a play in the bottom lane just then, the Shy could have teleported down, whereas Mouse will not be able to. So good control wards being placed down by Rogue Warriors, but much better vision control as a whole coming out from Invictus Gaming. Look at the bottom side of the minimap. Everything's just lit up for them.
Yeah. Honestly, at this point in time, sure, the Shy can get there first, but he doesn't have a frontward ward that he can look for a flanking. He has that one, actually. That's a really good one. So for Rogue Warriors, it's been long enough for them to forget that this ward exists. So if they look for a play, that's a perfect one for the Shy.
Even both top laners, they're just farming their waves, disappearing to Fog of War, threatening with that teleport. And all eyes at the moment are on the bottom lane. In fact, waves are crashing against both mid lane outer turrets, between the mid laners shoving back and forth. And IG still trying to see if they can catch Doinby out, rotating down to the bottom side of the map.
Yeah, trying to be cute about this at this point in time when you understand your opponent so well. Rogue Warriors have done it where they have just been tracing around their own blue side jungle. If you can get deeper control wards where Olaf is standing there right now, they can get a pick. Flawless is walking in.
That was teleport being used by Doinby to get back into the mid lane. So he does have Realm Warp available, but no massive teleport for him to cross a larger distance across Summoner's Rift. Again, look at this. Both junglers as well as mid laners playing around and with each other once again, making sure they can secure vision over the river.
This has been a tense situation. Duanbi has built himself up so much magic resist with the Merc threat that he was able to purchase for himself that he does feel confident being the engage point of himself. That is important. Just to talk about the stats here. Duanbi, because we do have an engage stat, showcase how many engages a player has made for his team. Duanbi is leading that for mid laners. That's 22, and the second place is 16 from Bing. So he is an identity for his team to start the fight. It's always been the case for him. So now that he is playing on Rise, playing much more defensively with the itemizing, that he can be that point for his team.
He's got his signature tank Rise again. Abyssal Mask picked up with the Mercury Threads. Still stacking his Tear of the Goddess. Top side of the map, which you haven't seen too much of. The Shy is still winning that lane matchup, pushing in Mouse. Mouse is below half health and mana, as the Shy is able to create items for himself in the middle of the lane. Stays nice and topped up, makes sure that he constantly has the advantage over Cho'Gath.
One thing that I usually dislike about Cho'Gath compositions, if you ever find yourself in a deficit, and it's going to be the case for Rogue Warriors if they slip up in the bottom side of the map, it's just so hard to find yourself getting an engage for you. Especially with this composition where a lot of the engage points are Flawless's ulti or SMLZ's ulti. It's hard to commit on. Cho'Gath's Q, hard to commit on as well. Killua is playing a supportive mage, or at least a mage support. So a lot of them is just essentially playing front to back unless if Cho'Gath gets a really good flank ward.
And as much as this game has been fairly even, 4 kills to 4, trades mostly taking place in the bottom lane. IG have a side advantage. Their top side of map is winning against Cho'Gath. There's a CS lead for the Shy, just about 10 to 15. But mid lane, Rookie has a slight lead for himself, and the mid lane outer turret has been chipped quite heavily due to how much Doinby has been trying to rotate around the map.
That explains why the gold lead is in favor of Invictus Gaming. I think or at least Rogue Warriors should feel comfortable about that. I think that as a team, they're comfortable going towards these major team fights, and being able to take them. The communication has been strong with Rogue Warriors. We're once again talking about a pre-game. the only sole weakness that we see out of Invictus Gaming in a lot of their games has been in their team fights.
They turn their focus to the mid lanes. They knock back Doinby, exhausted as well. Meant to flash away. He's able to get down to safety. Teleport's being thrown to the mid lane as Mouse is the first to arrive. But JackeyLove gets some decent damage there. Realmwalk to throw Rogue Warriors back to safety as the Ornhorn gets thrown out by the Shy. Locks down Mouse, takes a lot of damage. SMLZ's nowhere to be seen because JackeyLove picks up that kill. IG break, mid lane out of turret. Now pushing for mid lane inner.
It's giving them so much time now, recognizing that Mouse won't be on the map for 30 seconds. They can take this tower and look towards the Rift Herald. In fact, pinging out the Dragon, there's so many objectives available for Invictus Gaming.
They time it perfectly. Dragon spawns. We already knew that Rookie had good damage in that mid lane outer turret. And IG pulled the trigger. They stopped playing around the bottom lane. They rotate everyone into the mid lane and catch Rogue Warriors out.
It was so sudden. Rogue Warriors just couldn't respond to it. And the decision was so split second that Rogue Warriors couldn't even decide if they wanted to completely concede and back away or stay long enough for Rogue Warriors, or at least the whole team, to come in to find and pick a fight. They stay way too long. Mouse gets picked off. Unfortunate for them, they lose 2 towers for their troubles.
Here it was, IG just showing the mid lane. Tried to get a pick onto Doinby. He lives, but Mouse was the real catch.
Yeah, the most important part is the fact that there are 4 members of Invictus Gaming rotating at the same time. So the engage comes through, they have their AD carry prepared. Lulu and Varus, nowhere to be seen, cannot take the fastest way out, they have to take the long way around. So that's what slips up Mouse and Flawless. They think that they can defend on the second turret. Not going to happen if you don't have your bottom lane.
And it's given Invictus Gaming the first meaningful advantage of this match. They're 3,000 gold up. They picked up 2 elemental dragons, one being the Infernal Dragon. But to top it all off, they've got 2 turrets in the mid lane taken out. Mid lane, inner, and outer turret have been broken by Invictus Gaming just 20 minutes into the match.
Yeah, it's the most important tower to take down too. Allows you so much flexibility in which side of the map you want to control. Right now they have the dual lane in the bottom side of the map. That just means that they can push deeper wards into the blue side jungle of Rogue Warriors, so they can take that tower much more easily. Right now you see SMLZ underneath it, but that just means if they are putting their bottom lane there to match, they have to put the rest of the team. Flawless has to pass bottom side of the map to wait for Invictus Gaming to strike.
Which is difficult if you're SMLZ at the moment, because he's sitting on a Rage Blade. Now we'll go back to base and complete some of the components for his next item. But he's up against JackeyLove with all the global gold that's been picked up. Already has his 2-item power spike, Rage Blade as well as Wits End. Now SMLZ will be able to match that.
Yeah, the fact that he's matching up against the Kog'Maw is a poor sight to see, honestly. This composition was for him to get far ahead enough in the laning phase, in the composition, so they can constantly look for fights. But now that JackeyLove is evened up in itemizing and is only going to scale harder, SMLZ is relying on his team to back him up.
Which is testament to the Invictus Gaming strategy here. They knew that bottom lane was going to lose. They had double unsealed spell, but in fact to go for a fight. JackeyLove instantly using Cleanse to get away from SMLZ's ultimate. But Realmwalk brings everyone down to bottom lane. Flash away for a Kog'Maw. Balon's the first casualty. Rogue Warrior's looking good. Rookie's getting good damage in the back lines, but Doinby tries to lock him down. Screamer shuffles his way back to safety. Doinby still chasing forward. Locks down Ning, just gets some chip damage, and good response from Rogue Warriors in the bottom lane.
And Rogue Warriors are looking for more though. Just the fact that Doinby walks up to get a little bit of a trade onto Ning means that they're trying to get a tower off of this. Just showcases that Rogue Warrior should be on the back foot, but the mechanics of SMLZ in that instance allows them for a larger play. Get on top of JackeyLove, he loses 50% of his HP, and then of course when Flawless comes through, has to flash as well, they are nowhere in position for a fight. Invictus Gaming have to back away from the get-go.
They just get a pick for that though. There's about 2,500 gold lead for Invictus Gaming still. Mouse had some time to chip away the top lane turret, which the Shy has already been able to do for Invictus Gaming.
Are you serious?
They're trying to start Baron, 22 minutes into the match, spotted out by a ward. They now know that ward spots them out. Control is placed down.
But SMLZ and Killor are at base. They are not in position for a fight. They need to find a way to push the IG off.
IG do peel off though, as IG were looking for a fight. The Shy throws out the ultimate in a choke point, gets all 3 members. Mouse is the first target. JackeyLove has been left untouched. He gets the first kill. Rookie sweeping 2 members back into the backlines. Ning gets that second kill. SMLZ's trying to return the fire for Rogue Warriors, but he just doesn't have enough members alive from his team to protect him.
Ooh, and SMLZ tried to get an ulti off to see if he can stay on the fight, but that's still dangerous. Look at the HP of JackeyLove. He's still well enough healthy to stick in the fight. Really well played from the Shy to start with, though. I've always been criticizing the Shy. Remember last split when we were talking about Duke versus the Shy? Team fight versus split pushing. The Shy's gotten so much better in team fighting. This is his second Ornn game in such a long time. He's been really only playing carries. But now that we see him on the tank, that fight started off so perfectly for him.
And it's his third big on play in this match. He had one in the bottom lane, one in mid lane, and then this.
So it was a good start from Invictus Gaming. They recognize that the bottom lane of RW is not there. The Shy comes in on a flank, and look at the cordon off area. Look at the terrain around them. Able to get the 2-man CC, able to get the 3-man Ornn ulti. So beautiful, and allows Rookie to sacrifice himself to get 2 more members. So really well done from Invictus Gaming to find that opportunity.
2-for-1 trade. IG peel off the Baron. They try to go for a fight. They're also able to take down the top lane outer turret for their troubles. 3,000 gold is still what separates these two teams. Rogue Warriors, although have been beaten a little bit, they're not out of this match just yet.
I mean, Invictus Gaming right now, they essentially are just calling out to Rogue Warriors, telling them that Baron fight's going to be a thing now. 24 minutes into the game, they want the fight to be resolved right now. So, sure, Rogue Warriors are still in it.
Hang on, SMLZ's on a ward here, though. Raz IG looking to try and collapse. Axe doesn't connect, neither does the Voiders.
Just take a look at that. At least SMLZ understood. No one's on the map. Last time they got vision of them was clearing out around Baron. So play around, of course, mid lane very, very cautiously.
Very patient play. Now we get to see the two play styles that are different between these two teams interact. IG, we know they're a lane-dominant team. They get advantages like they have in this match and proceed to the mid-game with it. Try and split apart the map. They've already got the Shy split push to the bottom lane. Rogue Warriors, they'll be grouping up to try and protect SMLZ and pick a fight around him.
I would say that this is where their identities get tested because it's a bit of a role swapping. The fact that Rogue Warriors have focused so much on lane domination on the bottom side of the map, and it's Invictus Gaming that got the team fight composition. So this is the first time that they're like, actually, I'm going to try and fight Rogue Warriors at their own game. And Rogue Warriors came into this one awkward situation. I'm going to fight you at your own game.
And we've criticized IG before for this. In their match against EDG, when they were 10,000 gold behind, they tried to pick a 5-on-5 fight, they lost it. This time around, they've been vocal about saying that their team fight problems have been fixed. They're good at team fighting at the moment. They picked the team fighting team comp. And so far, they've looked good in skirmishes. But Rogue Warriors are looking to try and see if they can get a pick in the mid lane. Jackalove caught alone. Only Doinby here. Teleport coming in as well. He's still trying to kite this one back. But there's Jarvan. Flawless just doesn't have enough damage. Jackalove lives, and Rogue Warriors don't get a pick.
The balls on Jackalove to stand still and fire back. Any other AD carry would walk away and recognize that Rogue Warriors are coming down to get you. But he thinks that he can outplay it. He loses his flash and cleanse for it. Massive criticism of Jackalove. Sure, he's thinking he can get the kill back, but you need to watch out now.
SMLZ goes straight towards Dragon, tries to get it for himself, but Mouse, he's found Jackalove! Jackalove did not go home! Chomps onto the AD carry, gets a pick for Rogue Warriors. They respond and take down the tank. It's now a 4-on-4 for the next 30 seconds.
Rogue Warriors find that opening, and it's Jackalove's overconfidence. Why did you lose both your summoners for that play? And of course Rogue Warriors are going to look and try and take it down. Mouse is a veteran tank top laner. He's going to see, okay, I'm going to walk up to you and start the fight for my team.
And they were trying to see if they could play around Baron. Multiple pings coming out from Invictus Gaming after they saw Rogue Warriors move towards the Dragon Pit. Jackalove just did not go back to base.
Okay, this started off as a pick onto Mouse. This is that, you know what, Jackalove? That's not your fault, man. That's not your fault. Why is he sweeping the man towards you? What's happening? He knows your situation. He knows you don't have flash.
Yeah, rookie mistake being made by Rookie there. Not able to protect his AD carry. However, Invictus Gaming are still in control of this match. Still 3,000 gold up. Still have more control of the map and have broken 3 turrets already in this game.
And just look at the Shy's positioning. Because of the fact that the map is wide open, they're looking for any fight that's presented to them.
Trying to catch out SMLZ, tags him with the Ornn ultimate. He's going to get hit by the second half as well. Take it down instantly. Throws out the ultimate, but that's all SMLZ had.
Really strong play from Invictus Gaming. You talked about it. The towers that are down, the vision control not in favor of Rogue Warriors. Just keep looking for the fights, and you'll get them.
And the same mid lane ward, the one that we said SMLZ respected, he did not respect this time round. They find the fights. Now a 4-on-5. Can Rogue Warriors try and pick a fight against IG? The Shy going over the wall. Jackalove and Ning are still on Baron. Ning even flashing over on top of that. Doinby's very low, has a big shield to keep himself alive for a little bit longer. Jackalove trying to start with the ultimate, gets the first one, second one will connect. Doinby does sidestep it. Third coming through. Jackalove's just tunneling onto the mid laner for Rogue Warriors. They disengage and only lose Mouse.
Yeah, they didn't have or at least Jackalove didn't have a position in that fight. Flawless though, looking for a steal.
The Shy will be able to spot him out as soon as he gets into this bush. Flag was thrown down by Flawless nice and early. The Shy is trying to play spoiler. Teleports are coming in towards the Baron pit. Rogue Warriors don't have their jungler close enough to steal it away, and it will be IG to get a Baron.
Here's the thing, we've seen a lot of 50-50s in the LPL. One team that is allergic to 50-50s IG. They don't want anything to do with it. They don't want any part of it. If you look towards any Invictus Gaming Baron run, they look for the fight. And every single time, if it's presented to them, they will find it.
I mean, there's already been 2 cases in this match alone, Res. The first Baron attempt, they peeled off to go for a fight, traded 2 for 1. The second one as well, took down Mouse, knocked Doinby out of the fight, blew his teleport, then went back to take the Baron.
Yeah, I know a lot of junglers talk about confidence and looking for 50-50s. Globally, it comes down to the fact that if you have the ability, if you have a jungler that's confident, say, give me the 50-50, or maybe we can burst it, then sure. We can take it. It's an easy win. Invictus Gaming aren't looking for an easy win. They were looking for a proper setup.
Rogue Warriors are going for a sneaky play here. Or is it Jackie Love that's actually found Doinby instead? Yes, it is. IG. Their mid laner gets blown up in that bottom lane fight.
They're finally going to take this tower after a long time. Rogue Warriors have to watch themselves, though. Invictus Gaming have dived tower after tower. This one really just going to be another tower on the list.
And with Baron buff, it's easy for IG to march these waves down. This time in the bottom lane. Bottom lane outer turret already taken. Inner turret's going to be next. With the only outer turret left standing top side of the map, which is currently being pushed in by the Shy.
You'd have to expect the Shy to TP here. Sure, he has pressure in the top lane, but he wants to join this fight.
Flawless locking everyone inside the Cataclysm, but IG don't really care at the moment. They take down the bottom lane inhibitor turret.
Wow, they are so confident in the fact that they will not die in this position. The Shy is just setting up for the mid wave, so they want to get the maximum value with this push. So they're saying, we're not going to double down to the bottom lane. We're looking for the mid lane as well.
And they've still got 2 minutes of Baron buff to work with. They're able to take down the bottom lane inhibitor quite nicely. Doinby has respawn, and Mouse tries to jump in. The Shy going too deep in the backlines, locked down by SMLT. Doinby misses the taxi to get into the team fight. So they turn around, get good damage onto Flawless. Still a 4-on-5 in Rogue Warriors' favor at the moment.
It's a crucial mistake coming out of Doinby. They could have looked for a little bit more, but still, Rogue Warriors looking for a fight.
Flawless is going to go 1-on-1 against Ning, but he's knocked out. Goes back to base. Mouse with a big knockup. Gets Balon and Jackie Love, but he kills Kalua. Rookie down the backlines. Sweeps Doinby for the double kill. SMLZ's trying to escape, but IG are just chasing him down. There's nowhere for him to run. Triple kill for the Emperor of Shurima.
My God, Rogue Warriors saw the opportunity. The 3-man knockup on Cho'Gath. The flash ulti from Lulu. A little bit ambitious, but I like the idea, but it cost them.
IG from the start of this match executed their strategy to near perfection, going toe-to-toe against Rogue Warriors in the early game, transitioning into a couple of great Baron fights, and through that, good team fights as well. They pick up game number 1.
That's the beautiful thing with Invictus Gaming. It seemed like a long game, but it was honestly under their average. 30-minute game from the 31-minute average. Rogue Warriors tried their heart out, but they still got smashed.
Statement game coming out from IG. Yes, it wasn't a complete stomp. Rogue Warriors didn't just roll over and give game 1 over to Invictus Gaming. They tried, they fought back, they kept it relatively even. But still, they were nowhere close to trying to take down IG in that match.
Look, it's like when you call Superman on the phone and you say, let's come out for a fight. And you bring the kryptonite, he's ready for it, and you realize that he's not gonna go weak from the kryptonite no more. Team fighting was Invictus Gaming's kryptonite, and apparently no longer. That was the one weakness we were looking for, and they just blasted them with team fighting altogether.
Well, I remember recent movies, right? So that doesn't end out too well for Superman. So I don't know what you're quite talking about there. But
I don't watch his movies. I'm just going to put that out
the
there.
analogy there. And
bad movie.
It seemed to be true. Like, there was just pretty much nothing Rogue Warriors could do. They could try and go even. They could try and trade back and stop the bleeding against Invictus Game, but at no point did it really look like they could actually take the match from them.
Yeah, I think immediately just looking at the draft, I would say that I like the idea, the initial experimentation from Rogue Warriors to try and fight them in the laning phase. I think they should go back to what they're comfortable in terms of scaling. They've played up against Snake before, and Snake tried to smash them in lane. They were able to defend that. They can go into game 2 and try to defend that, get that protective bubble, then we might see a more competitive game 2.
Well, game 1 started exactly as how we expected. A very fast, a very decisive, a very bloody game between IG and Rogue Warriors. IG pick up the game 1 victory. To break it down a little bit further, let's send it back to the analyst desk.
Now you take that back, Raz. Man of Steel is a national treasure, and Superman is... Yeah, Kryptonite really does mess him up. But IG... They're not Superman. They're showing that they're Batman because they're prepared for everything. They have a contingency plan. You know what? We're going up against Rogue Warriors. They want a team fight. let's team fight.
I just want to see you and Raz cast the next game and use all your metaphors.
All comic book references. You will not understand a word. You ever hear of Moon Knight? No, never mind.
Okay,
let's keep going. Let's keep going.
Back,
Invictus Gaming versus Rogue Warriors. They did something nobody expected in this game.
Yeah.
They played slow. They played team fight, and they played not for the lanes.
And the reason that the Kryptonite conversation even comes about is because they tried to play something that you would never expect from IG at all. This is the opposite of what we said even coming into this set. Where IG strong, you have winning lanes, you slowly suffocate your opponents out. Ning goes into the jungle, he steals things away. No one at any point can fight anyone from IG because they're just too strong. They did everything almost the opposite in this game. They pick scaling lanes. They have no pressure through the jungle. They look for team fights where they're meant to be a little bit weaker than everything else, but they still win in 30 minutes.
Yeah. Impressive play, to say the least, that we're seeing macro developments out of the likes of this team. If we've actually got the pick and ban for that, we can go into this a little bit more and compare the actual lanes, because like you said, in the actual order, it was the very early bottom lane jungle priority from Invictus Gaming, not the solo lanes.
The big thing to me that really signals a change in Invictus Gaming is the fact that they actually chose to play on the blue side.
Yeah.
This is a team that likes to play on the red side for double counter picks. Instead, they go on the blue side and they first pick Olaf. Now, that's a big signal to me, because that really it means that they're following Ning rather than Ning following the lanes and pushing the advantage for them. And if you look at their team composition, it's a very late game team composition. They're not using the Shy to try to outpunish the Mouse. They're just using their late game team fight coordination as a 5-man. Rogue Warriors did a good job here. They had a lot of these moving pieces where they had a lot of flex picks. They wanted to confuse IG, and they got good lanes. They still couldn't win.
Yeah, I like that from Rogue Warriors in particular. Their draft is something that we'll have to touch on, of course, before we get into the game. The fact that they went for the flex, like Clement mentioned, I think they just went one step too far with all of the flexes that they could possibly get. Yeah, the Lulu is the one that I would reference. Now, they put it in a support position. It didn't look like Kalu was very comfortable on the Lulu. Even the last team fight where he flashes forwards and ults himself, there's a Cho'Gath next to you, just ult the Cho'Gath. Like, maybe that'll work out better for you. So things like that, you can get hints and moments where it looks like Kalu is not fully comfortable, and that they flexed Lulu and it was one step too far, and they just said you have to play it. So
of course, seeing these compositions in action was something entirely different from Invictus Gaming, because like we said during that early game, it was mid priority out of Rogue Warriors in order to set that up. And it was with that mid-priority that they ended up taking a bit of an early advantage, despite Ning getting that first blood.
Yeah, they did go to the bot lane quite often, and the first fight really went to Rogue Warriors' advantage. However, I will say that Rookie still won the lane overall. Every time Doinby left the lane, he was able to get chipped down, and he took the first tower down relatively quickly.
Yeah, and this is that first team fight that breaks out at around 8 minutes into the game, and the first big movement from Rogue Warriors to enable all of this. But of course, on the opposite side, IG is still able to respond with apt and appropriate teleports, but note Flawless here as well, because I think he had the best part in this fight in enabling his team to consistently output damage, saving Kahlua, waiting for the flag and drag, and then locking them both in a chamber where SMLZ can lock them down. I think Flawless actually had a pretty good game for himself. It's just that IG had too much pressure across the broad. I can't speak.
Across the board.
Across the broad once they started scaling up.
And that being said, we also got to see some fantastic outplays over the course of this match as well. Rookie just trying to get as many excellent Azir Sex as possible as he runs away from his own Aerie there in the final chase to lock down the kills in this extended engage. And to sort of follow up on what you were talking about, that we saw Rookie, as he has to get that last hit in there, despite taking that lane into Azir, we talked about it a bit before, Rise. Rise has that mid-priority for the first few levels, but because Doinby was trying to roam and match Flawless, Rookie was able to get chip damage, and suddenly 5 members from IG just showed up mid and opened up not 1, but 2 turrets.
Yeah, that really culminated from all the damage they did take onto the mid tower, and that sudden movement towards the mid where they bot lane actually had priority. That was a big thing for them as well. I feel like a lot of the issues that Rogue Warriors had for the early game was actually the Lulu pick. If they had something with CC and they went as bot as often as they did, they probably wanted another tank with lockdown so they could actually find kills. Because Doinby and Flawless invested in a lot of it, and it didn't pay off in terms of really securing them those ganks.
Yeah. And that's where I do have to give some credit to IG's drafting as well. Their second ban phase, they removed Harmkench, they removed Alistar. And Alistar is the one that I would be looking at saying he needs to play this champion. With Braum already gone, perhaps in future games, in the second game, it could be something like a Shen still to enable Leona, maybe the other one that you'd want to look towards as well, because I agree, Lulu shouldn't have been there. I understand what they were trying to do, which is just control and bully the 2v2, but they went even. So next time you can't just go even. You have to have a tank. You have to enable your team as they come down to you.
Of course, that being said, though, it was more than just the support pick. Invictus Gaming, they seem to just appear across the map, not just once, but multiple times over the course of the game. I think the one that comes to mind is the fight at Baron, where 22 minutes in, Invictus Gaming turned towards the Baron, bait it out as if they're actually going to take it. We thought they might even take it, but then they turn and collapse onto Rogue Warriors.
Yeah, this was a great fight from Invictus Gaming. They understood that Rogue Warriors bot lane was very far away from the scene, so they try to get the triple kill down early onto Rogue Warriors. However, SMLZ does get into the fight later, and they are able to sort of even it out. What this does illustrate is Invictus Gaming, they are the best team at making these 20-minute catches. They're so good at finding wiggle room.
And this guy is just so good at League of Legends as well. You saw it in the replays, his ability to control the map as Azir, not just use the ultimate. You know, you look towards a lot of Azir players and you look towards the ultimate as the big moment, the only time you really see them stand out. But he shows that even when he was bottom, he's just able to have pressure. He's able to control the map and control the team and work very well around minion waves in particular as well. One of the things that Rookie excels at above all else.
Still an excellent performance from the likes of Invictus Gaming over the course of that game one, though. We still have got the rest of the set to play out, the rest of this best of 3. So don't go anywhere. Our match of the week is going to be right back after this short break.